Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you guys are doing okay. You guys, this video is just like a random kind of topic, okay? So let's talk about the reality of living in the United Kingdom. Like, you know, there have been a lot of people coming into the UK. Some people are coming in without prior information of what life is here in the UK. Some people are fully informed, you get. So let's talk about some kind things about the reality of life in the UK. The first thing I want to talk about in this video is kind of jobs people do here in the UK. Okay, so a lot of people have said it that in the UK it's only care jobs that are available, and like I've heard people say it like severally, because a lot of people they know are doing care jobs in the UK, even those who did their master's degree and they end up doing care jobs. The truth is, here in the UK, care jobs are not the only jobs that are available for anybody. It doesn't matter the visa you are on here. Care job is not the only job that are available here in the UK. Okay, there are lots of other jobs you can do as a dependent, as an international student. As an international student, if you don't want to do care, that's totally fine. You can actually get a job in your university. Like, I know a lot of people are not informed about this. When you come into the UK, you've started school, you want a part-time job, because not everybody wants a part-time job. A lot of people came in with their money, like they don't want to work. They just want to go to school, stay with their family. At least I know families that are doing it. Both the man and the wife are not working. They are just eating their money from Nigeria, okay? So if you want to work as an international student and you don't want to do care jobs, I will advise that you go look for a job in your school. It's not looking for a job in your school like maybe the canteen in your school, or, you know, no. You can actually write to your department and ask if they have job openings. Usually there's always a job opening for international students, not just international students in general. As long as you are in the university, or as long as you are studying in the university or college, there's always job for students. But just know that when you are working in your school, obviously you're gonna stick to 20 hours. You cannot do more than 20 hours. Okay, you can write to your department, ask if they have any openings that you can apply. There's always opportunity. When my husband was studying, that was what he did. The part-time job he did was in their school admissions office. So he worked in the office as an international student. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to do care job or warehouse as an international student. There's always job within your school, but a lot of people are not really informed about this. When you come in, send inquiries to the department, or you can apply directly from your school website. Okay, now another thing I want to mention is the kind of life people here in the UK. Okay, so a lot of people in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria, a lot of people outside the UK, you know, Africans, when they see their peers, their family members, their, you know, living good life on social media, you know, with good phones, you know, driving cars, you know, good clothes, their house is properly furnished, and you'll be like, oh, UK is good, UK is good, UK is... Yeah, some people, you move, UK is treating you properly, you're living your dream life, per se, okay? But don't just use that as a yardstick, okay? Yeah. In the UK, it's not just about the UK, abroad generally, like all these civilized countries, there's something called finance. And a lot of people who are in these countries, their phones, they get it on finance. Their cars, they get it on finance. Some of their properties, like some of the properties they use in their house, couch, dinings, you know, all these things, some of them get it on finance. By finance, what I mean is, when you get this stuff, oh, we have a new neighbor. When you get this stuff, like let's take for instance your phone. When you get your phone, you know, they do a credit check on you. That is why when you are living in abroad, you need to have a good credit rating. Okay, so when they do the credit check on you and you know everything checks out, you can get a phone. Even if you want to get iPhone 13, Yeah, don't mind me, I'm exaggerating. Of course, there's no iPhone 13. But what I'm trying to say is, even if you want to get the latest whatever, you can get it. Yeah, as long as you have a good credit standing. You know, this iPhone that a lot of girls, they do some crazy things to get an iPhone. iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15 and 16 and all the rest. These are the kind of phones secondary school children, like, you see secondary school children, like, they have these phones. Like, they use it, it's nothing. Like, all these kind of things, they are not placed at any value here in the UK or generally in abroad. Do you get? But I know that in Nigeria, if you're using an iPhone, maybe iPhone 14, you are seeing like a very rich boy or a very rich girl, man or woman, you get what I mean? But here is the other way around. Okay, and that is one thing I love about living in abroad, because somehow, even though with the other challenges which I will talk about in this video, somehow I feel like life is a little bit easier here than in Nigeria. Imagine when you can get your phone, you can use any phone of your choice by paying a token, like a small money. At the end of the month, they'll be taking small money from you. And then money, when they take it out from your bank account, it won't like shake you. So it makes sense for me. Like, these are the kind of things that makes living abroad a little bit easy. Okay, you're buying a car, you're buying it on finance. You don't necessarily need to like bring out the whole £30,000 to go buy a car. Okay, so another thing I want to mention about the reality of living here in the UK is, you guys, there is no free lunch. There is no free lunch. Yes, you heard me. So what I mean is, you know, back home, you're going out, especially those with kids, you can just drop the kids with your neighbors or with your family member. They will gingerly and mildly take care of your child or kids till you get back. Such thing cannot happen here. If you're leaving your kids with anybody, you have to pay for that service. Yeah, you have to pay for that service. Unless you have a friend whom you and her or him, you know, you exchange, your kids stay with me when I'm at work. You know, it's just trade by barter. Like, there's no free, like in Nigeria, you can actually take your friend to your kids, and your friend don't necessarily need to bring her own kids for you to take care of them because she's going somewhere. But here is a two-way thing. I help you with your kids. When it's my turn, you help me with my own kids. So basically, there's no free lunch. There's nothing free, absolutely free here. So you see, when you have your family members come in, like your friends, let me use friends, like your friends come into the UK, you have a spare room in your house, and if it's in Nigeria, now your friend can actually live in your house without paying no bills, right? But if it's here in the UK, by the time the bills will come up, you will tell your friend, my brother, my sister, we are going to be splitting this bill, okay? Because again, there is no free lunch. You actually hustle for every dime you get in your bank account. Yeah, you hustle. You know, in Nigeria, when you're walking on the road, you just see 20 naira, 15 naira on the road. Since I came to the UK, I've never seen money on the road. To make that money is hard. Like, you have to work, actually like work to make that money. So anybody that you see, the one where they hold them tight, they don't like misuse it. You get what I mean? Yeah. So another thing I want to mention about the reality of living in the UK is there is exploitation. Yeah. There are lots of slavery going on here in the UK. There are lots of employer exploiting their employees. Yeah, I will explain that in a bit. So this person came to my DM and showed me the contract of this employer. And my dear people of God, this contract reads that she's gonna work 50 hours a week. 50 hours a week. And that involves working every other weekend, and she works from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. So when she showed me the contract, I read through it and I told her, my sister, I know that you want to leave the country, but with what I've read here, you don't want to accept this offer. Yeah, I know it's difficult. Probably you must have had thousands of applications before you even got this one. But believe me, you don't want to go from frying pan to fire. You know what people don't understand is, when you sign this contract, like when you sign this contract, there's nothing else you can do. You just, when you come in here, you just have to work based on what you signed on your contract, right? So after I spoke to this lady, I told her, this is not even realistic. Yeah, like, how can you do 50 hours? And that's working like almost the whole week. So when is the time for you to rest? What's the point after making this money and you end up in the mortuary or you end up sick? So it doesn't make sense. The working condition is not favorable at all. Yeah, you can come into the country, you can come into the UK, you know, with whatever contract, whatever job offer that you have. If the job working conditions is not favorable, my brother, my sister, reconsider. Yes, you can come in here and actually switch employer, but I want to put it out there that it's not very easy to get sponsored job here in the UK. It's not that easy. It's not. Yeah, people in the UK may be getting sponsorship even more than those, you know, applying from outside the UK. But the truth is, imagine when you have this kind of working conditions and you come in and you think that when you come in after 1 or 2 months, you will switch employer and you end up working for that company 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, you never still get sponsorship. Reality is, yeah, while in the UK, it's a little bit easier, less challenging to get sponsorship than applying from outside the UK. So when you are picking up your contract, when you are reading, signing your contract, whatever contract it is, make sure you are mentally ready, especially those of you coming for domiciliary work. Some companies exploit you, like they want to use you and show no mercy to you. So you just have to be very, very careful. However, having said this, there are still some agencies, there are still some companies that are really nice. At least I know one domiciliary company, they are giving sponsorship, but their working condition is actually very, very good and flexible. Yeah, so not all domiciliary agency or domiciliary company have that tendency of exploiting people. There are still some good companies and there are still some bad companies. So whatever thing you're getting yourself into, make sure you are mentally ready. Make sure you've read your contract through so you don't end up coming to the UK and being frustrated. Okay? Another reality, especially those of you that come into the UK on tier 4 visas, is getting a job after your master's degree. It can be challenging. It can be challenging. However, it also depends on what you studied. Okay, you know, some people, they just want to leave Nigeria and come into the UK. When they come in here, they've already decided that they're going to do care job, even though they have finished school. Like the school route is just like a route to come in, not as if that they are keen about studying. Okay, so if that is your plan, then you're good. This advice is not for you. But if that is not your plan, then my sister, my brother, don't just study any course you see. Study a good course. Okay? Study a good course so that at the end of the day, you will be able to get a job. By a good course, I know some courses, every course is good. What I mean by a good course is when you go to the government of UK website, the list of jobs in demand, you can go through the list and see if anything that's, you know, is in line with what you are doing right now. You should look towards studying courses that are related to that. Okay, so that at the end of the day, you can be able to get a job. You won't end up, after your master's degree, you won't end up doing care job. Am I communicating? Am I communicating? All right, so another thing I want to mention here, you guys, is this one. A lot of people keep saying it. Like, they keep saying it. Bills, yeah. So a few days ago, I saw a video on Facebook. So this lady was making a video and said, if you're in the UK and you have £1,000 in your account, then you should answer to the police. The police should come and ask you how you got that money or something like that. I was like, madam, stop lying. Stop lying, madam. What do you mean? What is even £1,000 to talk about. I mean, what is £1,000? So that kind of information, and I went to the comment section of that video, and I'm happy with the kind of comments people were giving the woman. Like, I mean, I disagree with that woman. If you have £1,000, nobody's gonna check your bank account. Like, no police have no right because you have £1,000. Okay, what she's trying to say is, because of the hardship in the UK, because of so bills whether they pay for UK, you cannot save. That's what she's trying to say. And I'm trying to put it here on your screen that that woman, she lied. Yes, she lied. So when I go to the comment section, like I said, a lot of people were giving her back to back. Madam, I don't know the part of UK that you are. What this information you're passing here is actually false. And I agree, because that's misinformation. I mean, you work, you get paid. So what is 1,000 that cannot be in your bank account? Okay, let's talk about the bills. So those of us that come to Nigeria, you know, we are not used to paying bills, paying this, paying that, and you know, drop that mentality of bills is high in UK, bills this, bills that. When you are in the UK, recondition your mind that you are in a civilized country. Recondition your mind that you are in a country where taxpayers' money are put into good use. Okay, recondition your mind that environment don't change you. Right now, I'm going to be paying tax, because these taxpayers' money are used for lots of things. One of the things taxpayers' money are used for is studies. A lot of people are on student finance. Yeah, a lot of people are on student finance in the UK. If you're in the UK and you have stayed in the UK for up to 3 years, you can go to the university on a student loan. And let me now tell you people, you know that student loan, a lot of them that study on student loan do not pay back. That's a total video on a different day. But yeah, a lot of them end up not paying that money. Okay, so all these things are taxpayers' money. If you're coming in, especially those of us from Africa where tax is not a regular thing, when you come in here, condition your mind that you're going to be paying tax. Okay,
so stop that attitude. UK is this, UK is that, bills and that.
I actually was talking to somebody I know that stayed in Ireland, and I was asking her what's like real-time cost of living in Ireland like. When she told me the rent they pay in Ireland, the electricity bills, their gas bills, as in my mind won't blow up, because it was way higher than what we get paid here in the UK. Then when you come to Sweden, Sweden tax is even 51%. You don't hear this kind of things on social media because Sweden, Ireland, Italy, they are not like as popular as the UK. Do you understand? And you know, with the rates of people coming into content creation, the emphasis, you get what I mean, is now making it to look as if paying your bills in the UK is actually a bad thing. So that is the reality. Okay, before I end this video, I want to share something. Somebody, you know, I had a discussion with somebody in my DM, and this person was asking me, Ogbuanu, what would you advise? Is he moving to UK, moving to Canada, or moving to Australia? And he asked me that question. In all honesty, I told him, you see, this abroad matter. You see, this abroad matter. They know the advice person to come abroad. Okay. Relocation is something you are very convinced that you want to do. Of course, you know that relocation is not cheap. So I told him, I cannot advise you to move to the UK or move to Canada or move to wherever you want to go. Now you, as an individual, now you will know you should research on these countries and check the ones that favors you more, the one that you like more, the one that you see more prospects in, and decide which one you want to go. However, I'm going to tell you, all these countries, the US, I know that some people are in the UK and they feel like, I'm going to the US, UK is not good, UK is not that. Yeah. All of these countries, see, they have different challenges. Do you get? Living in the UK, you have your challenges. Living in Canada, you have your challenges. You know, America and all that. It's just for you to decide, can I cope here? Can I cope here? And you come up with where you want to go. Okay? So, coming into the UK, the truth is, if you're moving to the UK, the chances of you getting a permanent residence or eventually getting naturalized, it takes longer time for you to get your PR and eventually get your naturalization here in the UK. But in this other country, something like Canada, Australia, or New Zealand, you can actually, from your home country, move straight up as a permanent resident from your home country. Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, because in the UK, it could take you up to 5 to 6 years to get permanent residence. Meanwhile, in Canada, it's something you can just apply. If you meet the score, you get invitation to apply and, all those CIC process and, all of that. So if you meet the requirements with Canada, you can actually get permanent residence from your country. Okay, but in the UK it's different. It takes longer time. And I told him, after I explained this to him, and I told him, also check if you know anybody that stays in the Canada or any of this country that you've mentioned, how are jobs opportunities there? How are jobs opportunities there? Are there jobs in these countries that you mentioned, like when you get there, can you start working like right now? Because I know that here in the UK there are jobs. You can't tell me nothing. There are jobs here in the UK. And even, the most prominent one is care. Like when you come into the UK today, you can start care in next 1 week or even the following day. Because care jobs in the UK, you get trained probably 1 week. Some companies can even train you for a few days. You are starting working. But even in Canada, care jobs in Canada are not even that much. And even if you get these care jobs, you need to do a training, like I think a 1 month training or even longer to be able to work in care in Canada. So you see, the job opportunities is a little bit different. Yeah, I feel like the only enticing thing about Canada, Australia, and New Zealand is that you can actually get your PR from your home country. Yeah, whereas in the UK, it takes you longer time. As long as you're on tier 2, you are good. You just have to stay alive, till the next 5-6 years for you to get what you want. Okay? So at the end of the day, it's actually your choice to decide. Somebody cannot advise you, come here or go here or go here. You just have to be decisive. Because when you advise somebody, or come to Canada, and the person goes to Canada, and Canada doesn't favor the person, that person will be frustrated for life. And when the person remembers that, it was Ugonma that advised me to come to this country, you are in trouble. Like, you are literally in trouble. So, every country has its own challenges. Do you get? Even those in Canada, when you check their currency, is nothing compared to the pound sterling. 100 Canadian dollars, convert it to Naira, then you convert 100 pound sterling to Naira. There are pros and cons to any country that you move. There is no perfect country. Believe me, there is no perfect country. Now you will go decide, okay, I've done this, I've done that, this is my background, this thing that I studied, where is it needed more? Anyway, you guys, thank you for joining me in this video. I hope you are able to pick 1 or 2 from this video. If you did, then do it to give this video a huge thumbs up, okay? Do it to give this video a huge thumbs up. And if you have anything to add to what I've already said, use the comment section, okay? Until then, see you guys in my next one.